Development projects. As Chief Minister, Modi favored privatization and small government, which was at odds with the philosophy of the RSS, which is usually described as anti-privatization and anti-globalization. Modi's policies during his second term have been credited with reducing corruption in Gujarat. He established financial and technology parks in the state, and during the 2007 Vibrant Gujarat Summit, real estate investment deals worth 6.6 trillion rupees, equivalent to 17 trillion rupees or 210 billion United States dollars in 2020, were signed. The governments led by Patel and Modi supported NGOs and communities in the creation of groundwater conservation projects. By December 2008, 500,000 structures had been built, of which 113,738 were check dams, which helped recharge the aquifers beneath them. 60 of the 112 tehsils which had depleted the water table in 2004 had regained their normal groundwater levels by 2010. As a result, the state's production of genetically modified cotton increased to become the largest in India. The boom in cotton production and its semi-arid land use led to Gujarat's agricultural sector growing at an average rate of 9.6% from 2001 to 2007. Public irrigation measures in central and southern Gujarat, such as the Sardar Sarovar Dam, were less successful. The Sardar Sarovar project irrigated only 4 to 6% of the area intended. In 2008, Modi offered land in Gujarat to Tata Motors to set up a plant manufacturing the nano car after popular agitation had forced the company to move out of West Bengal. Following Tata, several other companies relocated to Gujarat. The Modi government finished the process of taking electricity to every village in Gujarat its predecessor had almost completed. Modi significantly changed the state system of power distribution, greatly impacting farmers. Gujarat expanded the Jyoti Gram Yojana scheme, in which agricultural electricity was separated from other rural electricity. The agricultural electricity was rationed to fit scheduled irrigation demands, reducing its cost. Early protests by farmers ended when those who benefited found their electricity supply had stabilized, but, according to an assessment study, corporations and large farmers benefited from the policy at the expense of small farmers and laborers. A contentious debate surrounds the assessment of Gujarat's economic development during Modi's tenure as Chief Minister. The state's gross domestic product (GDP) growth rate averaged 10% during his tenure, a rate similar to those of other highly industrialized states, and above that of India as a whole. Gujarat also had a high rate of economic growth in the 1990s, before Modi took office. Some scholars have stated growth did not much accelerate during his tenure. Under Modi, Gujarat topped the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business rankings among Indian states for 2 consecutive years. In 2013, a report measuring governance, growth, citizens' rights, and labor and business regulation among the country's 20 largest states ranked Gujarat first among Indian states for economic freedom. In the later years of Modi's government, Gujarat's economic growth was frequently used as an argument to counter allegations of communalism. Tax breaks and land for businesses were easier to obtain in Gujarat than in other states. Modi's policies of making Gujarat attractive for investment included the creation of special economic zones in which labor laws were greatly weakened. Despite its growth rate, Gujarat had a relatively poor record on human development, poverty relief, nutrition and education during Modi's tenure. In 2013, Gujarat ranked 13th in India with respect to rates of poverty, and 21st in education. Nearly 45% of children under 5 were underweight and 23% were undernourished, putting the state in the alarming category on the India State Hunger Index. A study by UNICEF and the Indian government found Gujarat under Modi had a poor record in immunization of children. From 2001 to 2011, Gujarat did not change its position relative to the rest of the country with respect to poverty and female literacy, remaining near the median of the 29 Indian states. It showed a marginal improvement in rates of infant mortality, and its position with respect to individual consumption declined. The quality of education in government schools in Gujarat ranked below that of many Indian states. The state government's social policies generally did not benefit Muslims, Dalits and Adivasis, and generally increased social inequalities. Development in Gujarat was generally limited to the urban middle class, and citizens in rural areas and those from lower castes were increasingly marginalized. In 2013, the state ranked 10th of 21 Indian states in the Human Development Index. Under Modi, the state government spent less than the national average on education and healthcare.